This incident took place 5 years ago to a husband and wife couple, Surti and Tejo. At the time, the husband is still actively working in the army. Due to working as a military officer, Tejo is assigned to serve at Sumatra, Indonesia, for 1 year when he currently resides in Java, Indonesia. 1 year is quite a long time to leave Surti alone at home. Moreover, they really want to have a child but still hasn't been granted. That morning, the day when Tejo had to say goodbye to his wife for a year, Surti's sobs made Tejo tears unable to shed. They reminding each other to always take a good care of own health. After saying goodbye, Tejo started his motorbike and went to the airport. Tejo finally arrived at the place he was assigned. The day after Tejo's departure, nothing strange happened. Surti as usual continued her role as a housewife. But that night when Surti was lying down in the room, there was a knock on the door from outside. Surti, who was still awake, get up to open the door. And surprisingly, her husband is standing in front of the door. Tejo came home still in a full uniform while carrying his bag.
"Why are you here? Aren't you assigned to serve at Sumatra?"
said Surti, surprised.
"I just want to go back home because I miss you."
Tejo replied like he usually does when he was pampered with his wife. Surti, who heard Tejo's word, seemed pleased and invited her husband to come in and immediately went to the kitchen to make a drink. Tejo immediately entered the room and changed his clothes. The aroma of coffee smells make Tejo rush to the dining table to sip it.
"Surti, the coffee is too sweet. You don't need to add sugar. Can you make it again?"
Tejo said while sitting back. Surti feels weird because Tejo usually prefers coffee with sugar, but because she doesn't want to disappoint him, she made the coffee again, this time without sugar.
"Here's your coffee,"
said Surti. Before drinking, Tejo sniffed the aroma of the coffee and slurped the coffee. The slurping sound that Tejo makes sound different to Surti's ears. Then they spent the night to talk with each other while having a dinner. When the night was getting late, Surti yawned and invited Tejo to go to sleep. That night, Surti felt something different about how Tejo acts on bed that surprised her, but she doesn't complain and just enjoy the night. They sleep happily like a newlywed couple. The sound of the dawn call to pray echoing, showing that it was already morning. Tejo was awake and immediately getting ready to go to work.
"Surti, I'll go to work now, okay?"
said Tejo as he stepped out and left Surti in a sleepy state.
"Yes, Tejo. Be careful,"
replied Surti. When Surti woke up, she remembered what happened last night and immediately she can't stop smiling. It's unusual for them to have intercourse up to 4 times a night. She thought maybe her husband was in a good health. Anyway, after that night, they could make love up to 4 times, whereas before that, they only did it once a week. As time goes, Surti began to notice that her husband always left to work after the dawn call to prayer and came home at sunset, the same routine for 11 months. Over time, Surti finally became pregnant with Tejo's child, who was already pregnant for 3 months. Surti is happy because the child that they have been wanting for so long will soon be born and complete their little family. Entering 7 months of pregnancy, Surti's stomach is getting bigger. She takes care with love and affection. Exactly 1 year later, Tejo finally returned to his home after a year serving to finally meet his beloved wife who was waiting for him. At the airport, Tejo couldn't find his wife. She's not there to pick him up.
"Did she forget that my flight is today? Why didn't she come to the airport?"
Tejo muttered, slightly annoyed. After 1 hour waiting for his wife, Tejo finally went home without his beloved wife accompanied. It takes about 50 minutes to reach Tejo's residence. At that time, Tejo had not paid much attention to his wife's stomach. On his head, he just wanted to ask why she doesn't pick him up at the airport.
"Yes, wait a minute,"
said Surti. When the door opened, Tejo saw Surti that acted like nothing happened. No hugs or joy when her husband returned back home after a year not meeting.
"Why don't you pick me up at the airport? Did you forget the schedule?"
Tejo asked while still at the door.
"What do you mean? You just go out for work this morning. What airport schedule are we talking about?"
replied Surti.
"I go out for work this morning. What's this nonsense? A year ago I told you that I was going to serve at Sumatra for a year, and today is my return day,"
replied Tejo again, getting more confused.
"What? You said that your term to serve at Sumatra was cancelled and immediately went home the same day,"
explained Surti. Tejo, who heard Surti's explanation, was immediately shocked. It was clear that he had said goodbye to go on an official trip outside Java and said that he would return in a year. Surti also explained that during this year, Tejo accompanied her and that she's now pregnant. Tejo doesn't know what to do. He's getting mad. He started to think that his wife having an affair with another man for a year he was gone. She immediately denied that cause it's really Tejo who've been with her for a year. She then shows the selfie photo that she took with Tejo not long ago. Tejo getting more speechless. The guy on the photo is really looks like him, but he knows that it's not him. Surti becomes scared, seeing his husband respond.
This is you, right?
Surti panicked to Tejo.
No, this is not me.
He replied, then he showed all of the paperwork and photos that he took when he's serving at Sumatra. Surti began to cry uncontrollably, remembering the reason why Tejo habits started to change when he back to home at night a year ago. After a long silence and thinking carefully, Tejo finally decided to ask Mr. Adi, a psychic he knows. When Tejo goes to Mr. Adi's house and tell him what happened, Mr. Adi starts to meditate, and it turns out the baby in Surti's womb is a genderuwo child. During that time, Surti was accompanied by a genderuwo who transformed into Tejo's figure.